Hi guys, and welcome to this WCX video. I'm your CEO, Amatsu. I wanted to take the opportunity in this video to kind of lay out the differences between WCX and crypto exchanges. So I've been hearing a lot from you guys as to, how does WCX really work? How does it work behind the scenes? What does it mean to trade on WCX, to use Bitcoin to trade financial markets? And is WCX really an exchange in that sense? So we're going to answer all these questions in this video, and I'm going to walk you through some of the advantages of trading on WCX versus a traditional crypto exchange. So I know most of you guys, your first experience in trading was probably through a crypto exchange during the crypto bull run. And you want to know that exchanges in the traditional markets, they make up some volume, but most of the volume is done on things that we call derivatives, derivative instruments. And that's kind of what WCX is. It's a derivatives trading platform. It's a Bitcoin funded derivatives trading platform in that you deposit Bitcoin and you use that as collateral to speculate and to make trades on financial markets. So with that being said, let's dive in and I'll show you some of the pros of trading on WCX. So on WCX, you deposit Bitcoin only. You don't have to deal with dozens of other, crypto assets like you would on a crypto exchange, and you'd have to deal with different types of wallets and on and on. So on WCX, you deposit Bitcoin, you trade using Bitcoin, and you withdraw your profits or losses in Bitcoin. So it's not really an exchange in the sense where you would give Bitcoin and you would receive another crypto like Ethereum or XRP. It's mostly you deposit Bitcoin and use that as a collateral to speculate on financial markets. You want to think of this as using Bitcoin as a currency rather than an asset. So if you've ever placed a trade on a stockbroker with US dollars or euros, you would deposit US dollars from your bank account and then use that to make some trades. So it's a similar concept here, except that you're depositing Bitcoin instead of US dollars and you're making trades on all these different financial markets. So let me show you what I mean in our trading dashboard. So this is the WCX trading dashboard, and you see your balance up here. It's in BTC, Bitcoin. To deposit, you just click on the deposit button, and as you can tell, this is a Bitcoin deposit address. So you send Bitcoin here, and they're credited to your account after one confirmation on the blockchain. And once you want to withdraw, it's a standard withdrawal process. You enter a Bitcoin address and an amount, and you can withdraw. So everything happens in Bitcoin. That's the base currency of the entire platform. You deposit, trade, and withdraw using just Bitcoin. The next thing that's really cool about WCX is that you can trade a lot of different markets. You can trade cryptos, but you can trade all kinds of traditional markets too using just Bitcoin. So here you can see we have about a dozen or so crypto markets, some foreign exchange markets, foreign currencies, commodities like gold and oil, all kinds of global indices, and US-based stocks as well. And all these are tradable using Bitcoin. So this is nice because as a trader, you would probably want to capitalize on opportunity even outside the crypto markets. And now you can with WCX. For example, if there's an event that's going on in Australia, the Australian index may be affected, as well as the AUD, the Australian currency. So it really allows you to capitalize on opportunity wherever it is in the world, wherever it happens. One of the things people like most about WCX is that there are no fees to execute trades. So if you're coming from a crypto exchange, you know that there's usually a fee to submit a trade, about 0.1%, could go up to 1%, plus the spread on the exchange, so the difference between the bid and the ask. So on a crypto exchange, you pay both the fee and the spread, whereas on WCX, your total cost of trading is just the spread, just the difference between the bid and the ask. So I'm going to show you what the spread looks like on the different markets, and you'll see that it's quite small. For example, on Euro USD, it's that much, so 0.007%, quite negligible. On Bitcoin USD, it's around 0.18%, 0.018% rather. And keep in mind that the spread is linked and automatically calculated based on the underlying market volatility and liquidity. So it's tied to the something that we call the average true range of the market. So you can expect the spread to increase when the market volatility increases and decrease when the market volatility decreases and liquidity returns to the market. So that's for the spread. And so there are zero fees for trades and also zero fees for deposits and withdrawals. And some exchanges do charge fees for withdrawals. We just don't charge any at all. The next thing I want to talk about that's kind of linked to what we just mentioned about the spread is the market liquidity. So when you trade on WCX, there's no slippage. If you're coming from a crypto exchange and you submit orders at the market price, you know that some of those orders may get partially executed or may get executed at a price that is worse than the price that you submitted at. That's called slippage, and it happens because there's a lack of liquidity at the price you want to execute. And on WCX, there is no slippage because the order that you execute is submitted at the prices that you quote. So there's no partial execution, there's no requotes, there's no order that's executed at a worse price. What you see is really what you get. And slippage is one of those costs that's associated to order book trading that really adds up over time. If you keep submitting market orders on an order book based exchange, you're going to incur slippage. You're going to get worse prices than you want, and over time, that's going to affect your trading profits. So on WCX, there's no slippage, as I mentioned. But then you might ask, okay, so if there's no slippage, so I can just come in and submit $100 million order at this price, and I'm going to get fully executed. Well, not exactly, because each market, for example, if we select the Euro, USD, you can see that each market has a maximum amount that you can submit at that specific time. So, for example, on the Euro, at this time, it's 50 Bitcoin. That's the total size of the order that you can submit. And this kind of protects the platform against these outsized orders and risks that we mentioned. And this 50 Bitcoin amount and the maximum amount for each market, it's different for each market, and it's generally tending to go up as WCX becomes more and more popular. Another thing that you might not find on traditional exchanges is high leverage. On WCX, you get access to leverage up to 300 times on some markets. So let me show you what that is. For example, on the Euro here, which is a very liquid market, we offer up to 300 times leverage. And the cool thing is that you can adjust the leverage on every trade that you make. So you just click here and say, instead of 300 times leverage, you want 100 times leverage. Or you always have this option, it's to trade without leverage. So you can just set the leverage to 1, and that's like trading without leverage. If you're not familiar with leverage, if you've never used it before, what it basically is it's a multiplying factor. So 100 times leverage means any profits or losses you're going to make on this position is going to be multiplied by 100. And your buying power is also multiplied by 100. So you can see here that when we select the 100 times leverage times the our balance here of 0.9, it's going to give us 91 Bitcoin in buying power. This is the maximum amount we could potentially submit on this market. So that's what leverage is. It's kind of a double-edged sword. It's a tool that you can use as long as you know how to use it. So one of the things I find really cool about WCX is that you can actually short the markets. And that's something you guys maybe are not aware of and don't mention too much. But if you're coming from a crypto exchange, the basic principle is to buy an asset that's low and sell it high, and you would make the difference in profit. Well, on WCX, you can profit when the market goes down by shorting the market. So you can take advantage of those falling prices. Let me show you what I mean here. If we load the trading dashboard and we have a position here on Dropbox, a short position on Dropbox that we shorted at the 23.89 level. So let me show you what that looks like on the chart, and maybe load a higher time frame, a 1 hour time frame. There you go. So you can see that this position was entered at this price right here, and the current market price is right here. So it's dropped, and you can see that our position is up at 0.38 in profit. So that's what it is to short. This functionality doesn't exist on traditional crypto exchanges, but on WCX, you can actually take advantage of falling market prices. Another WCX feature that's quite popular with our new users is demo trading. So you can see here that I loaded the demo trading in my dashboard. The way demo trading works is very similar to real trading. Everything actually works the same except the balance, which is fictional. So you start with 10 Bitcoin initially, and you can refill those and trade indefinitely. So it's really risk-free. It's a great way to test out your trading strategies, or if you're new, to kind of discover all the features of the platform before you actually deposit real money and trade for real. I also want to talk about transparency on WCX. It's something that we've been focusing on. We're the first broker to actually publish how our spreads are calculated. So on our help center, you can see the exact formula for how the spread is calculated. It's based on the average true range, as I mentioned earlier, which is linked to the market's volatility. So you can expect the spread to go up when the volatility rises and vice versa. We also publish our price sources for our different markets. We also publish our liquidity pool, which is basically liquidity pool is when if you close a position at a loss, your loss is going to be added to the liquidity pool. If you close your position at a profit, your profit is going to be paid from the liquidity pool. And we also publish the session profit and loss, which is the basically we sum up all the current profits and losses of closed positions. And we also publish the settlement time. And settlement, you want to keep in mind on WCX, is simply just a period in time where we sum up all the profits and losses and make those withdrawable. Settlement does not affect any of your open positions, so there's no auto closing. You can keep your positions open as long as you want. So settlement just affects closed positions. So that's it for this video. You might have noticed that I only talked about the pros of using WCX. There are obviously some situations where you might not want to use WCX. For example, if you're looking to use US dollar or the euro to make trades on stocks, I would advise going to a stockbroker. WCX only accepts Bitcoin deposits. Or if you are planning to buy some assets, buy some crypto assets, or buy for example, if you want to buy Ethereum with Bitcoin, that's not something that you can do. You can't really exchange an asset for another on WCX. It's a derivative trading platform. So you deposit Bitcoin and you withdraw Bitcoin, the same asset. There's no exchange there. So those are the kinds of situations where you might not want to trade on WCX, but rather use another service. So yeah, that's it. And I want to thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, contact our support team. They'll be back to you very shortly. And leave us your feedback. We love to read it. Thanks for watching.